Hey, what's up everyone? Best and West here, and today I'm going to talk about an unpopular opinion. And as you can see, it's about this game right here, Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword. So, in my opinion, this game gets a lot of unfair criticism. I feel like it's actually not a terrible game for what it was. Actually, when it was released, it was actually highly rated. IGN, I believe, gave it a 10 out of 10, and a bunch of other popular sites gave it really well reviews. But looking back on it, a lot of people say that it just implemented a lot of things very poorly. For example, Fi, I think it's Fi, is kind of like the Navi of this game from Ocarina of Time. And a lot of people said that she was very annoying. There was a lot of hand-holding involved. A lot of people didn't like the motion controls. And a lot of people said that they didn't like how it was very linear. As in, you do one task and then you go ahead and just follow up with another task. And it just didn't allow much exploration. As in Ocarina of Time, the original Zelda, Twilight Princess, just like in general, it didn't provide enough range of mobility, not range of mobility, but range of exploration, like I mentioned earlier. A lot of people also didn't like how you had to revisit certain areas, and it just didn't seem expansive. Like the world didn't seem very expansive. Now, although I agree with a lot of things there, I do like so much about it. So, first thing I really like about it is the story. This is supposed to be the first Zelda in the Zelda timeline. So it kind of gives you a history of, you know, where Zelda, the idea of Zelda, Link, and everything that follows that. So if you're big into the series of Zelda, then the franchise of Zelda, then this game is almost like a necessity to play through so that you know how the story progresses. Another thing that I really liked about it was the character development. The character development in, for example, Breath of the Wild, it wasn't as good for me. Like, I didn't really feel connected to the characters as much. Now, for this one though, I felt like Zelda and Link had a real connection. Link had a connection with everyone in the city, in the world. It just was very good. Like, I even felt for Impa, you know. Spoiler alert, Impa is the old lady that protects the gateway, and I just feel like everyone in the story, like, had a relationship, and so that just made the game so much better. Another thing is the music in this game is incredible. I really love the music. The music was amazing, and if you got, and on top of that, in this edition, you get the Zelda Wiimote plus the music CD. The music CD is amazing. The orchestral renditions of the Zelda music, unbelievable. On top of that, Skyward Sword had some amazing soundtrack as well. Original soundtrack as well. So a lot of people complain about the motion controls. Now, you have to realize this was made for the Wii, and the Wii's whole thing was motion controls. And so if you didn't like motion controls, then you wouldn't have a Wii, right? Like, it just wouldn't make too much sense. And it was a new way to play. Now, looking back on it, you could say like it wasn't that great, but at the time, for what it was, the motion controls were great in my opinion. I didn't have too many problems like swinging the controls. Like, sometimes I would swing vertically and it would kind of go horizontally, or I'd swing diagonally and it would go horizontally. But you know, that's just part of the. It was a product of its time, and I feel like as a product of its time, it was really great. A lot of people didn't like the linearity of it. Now, for me, I like kind of linear games. I like having direction in where I'm trying to go. Like, extremely open world games that can take 250 hours, 300 hours, like, I'm not that big of a fan of them. That's why, honestly, I'm not a huge fan of the Animal Crossing franchise. It doesn't seem like I have a specific goal. Like, there's not something that I'm supposed to do. As a completionist, I'm really goal-driven, so if I don't have a task that I'm supposed to do, just running around, not really knowing what to do. Another thing is the dungeons. Some of the dungeons in this game are great. That's what I really missed from Breath of the Wild, is that like this game had so many great dungeons, and that's one of the things I love about Zelda, is the puzzle solving. The thought process in creating those dungeons was great, and I really loved it. So those are the things that I love about Zelda Skyward Sword, and I really feel like it is underrated. And there's so many things that I could talk about. I could talk about the bosses and things like that. Now, some people might say that the bosses were kind of unmemorable, but for me, the final fight with Ganon was one of the most memorable. The character design of Ganon in this game was probably the best in my opinion. But yeah, that's about it. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think Skyward Sword gets a bad reputation today? Do you think it's a great game? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys give this a like, and make sure you guys subscribe. Also, check out my Twitter feed, and make sure you go to my Facebook group, my Facebook page, and like it if you haven't already. Alright guys, that's about it. Till next time, best in West. I'll catch you guys later.